All right, what up, Instagram? We are live. We are live. We are here, the CEO guide to a successful real estate wholesale business. So on this thing, we got a lot of great things to talk about. We got a lot of great things. Let me just make sure we're locked in. All right, so I need to take that off. Okay, cool. All right, guys. All right, let's get going. How's everybody feeling? If you got any questions throughout, there should probably be a chat option. I'll be answering some questions at the end of tonight's call. First and foremost, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. It's your boy, Isaac Grace, aka the Millennial Hope Dealer, aka Young Boston. So I just want to, again, thank you guys for being on for tonight's call. We're about to get it in. We're about to get it shaking and moving. Give you guys a little quick background story. I feel like it's always very important to really, I think the key with this is just to relate, like understand, where I come from. If you haven't already heard my story, just get another a refreshment of it so I could show you how similar we are, how similar our situations have been in life. All of our ups and downs, goods, bads, maybe even identical situations that will make you feel like you could be more aligned to this business. Because a quick little story, even with King J. Morrison, my mentor, there was a lot of things that, that happened to me that had happened to him when he was in his younger ages, like something simple. Now I look back, 2 girls, he has 2 girls. I have 2 girls. He, back in like when he was 25, he sold his Range Rover truck so that he was able to, either help his mother out or buy a 2-family house. And like, I had sold my truck just to, for a mentality thing to 1, save money, and then 2, to utilize that money to get into my business. So, and there were so many other things, but, just want to let you guys know my story so we can see how we relate and how we can, get together. Real quick, Instagram, if you guys are on right now, you could go to YouTube. You want to search Isaac Grace, that's ISSAC, and we are also live over there on YouTube too, where you'll actually be able to see our PowerPoint. Today, I'm going to be sitting back from a computer desk. I don't do this often. Normally, I'm up like King J always teach us on a board, but today I got so much information. It's going to be a nice long webinar. So I'm going to sit back. I'm going to relax. I mapped this out, guys. I've been working on this for some time now to really, make this business easy, bridge that gap to show you guys how easy this business really can be, and that you guys can go out here and win and succeed. So guys, I'm Isaac Grace. I'm 25 years old. I am originally from Lakewood, New Jersey. I grew up in Ocean County, New Jersey, is the same county I was from. I'm one of 5 kids. My mother, grew up for the most part, a single mother, trying to raise her kids, trying to, get us through school. We grew up on, welfare, free lunch at school, but my mom at the end of the day really tried her hardest to give us what she could with what she had. So I definitely appreciate that. My father was incarcerated, majority of my younger days to my teenagers, to my late teenagers. So, I didn't grow up with really too much of a father figure, to really show me the ropes and really show me how to become a man. Now I'm, 25, I have 2 kids, two beautiful girls, 5 years old, one's 8 months. And, that is a lot of, what we're going to talk about, that why today, of why I do what I do and I go as hard as I try to go. Fast forward, I moved. My mother decided to move to Georgia when I was going into my freshman year of high school, Riverdale, Georgia. So it's the South Side. Like if y'all know Lil Baby, when he did that song South Side, Riverdale, Georgia, in the south part of Atlanta, the southern part of Atlanta, of the outskirts, was where she had moved to. And at that time, I did not want to move. I was my 8th grade year was like my best year of my life. About 2007, I was a cool kid. I was playing basketball. We actually was the conference champions this year. Like I had all the friends, and I was dressed nice. Like I had one best dress this year. So like I was going into high school like looking to, we all understand, like going from 8th grade to your first year of high school, you want to be with people that you grew up with. You don't want to move. You don't want to start your whole life over. So I fought with my mom about not going there. And I was able to negotiate, and I'm using these particular words because a lot of this stuff we're going to need in our real estate wholesale business and just in real estate, period. So I began to negotiate with my mother on the way how I can stay. So she wouldn't allow me to stay in the town that I would have went to school in, but she allowed me to go move with my grandmother, which was a couple towns over, but it was still in New Jersey. Like I just didn't want to go to Georgia. So fast forward, I lived with my grandmother about 2 years. She ended up kicking me out once, letting me come back. I did good in school. Long story short, I got in a fight. A kid called me a racial slur. Actually, it was a Hispanic kid, but Ocean County is a very it's a very racist area. It's a diverse population, but there's a lot of racism we've experienced that we know as plain as day. But through it all, we continue to grind and move. So I got in an incident, got in a fight with the kid. I beat him up. They suspended me from school. So I went home. Obviously, she knew, and she was just fed up with me. I was sneaking out at night, going out to parties. She wanted me in the house. It's 10 o'clock. I'm trying to explain to her, like, yo, grandma, the party don't even start till 10. So I'm breaking rules. I'm jumping out my window 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, sneaking back in. And, like it just was breaking her down. She said I was a mirror image of my father growing up. So, she ended up kicking me out. And when she kicked me out, she didn't just kick me out and just leave me out in the streets. She was trying to send me back home with my mom, but I was just so crazy. I just was so in control of my life at this time. I wasn't allowing anyone or anybody to dictate my life on my terms. And that's, it's kind of sad to say as a young teenage kid, but this was just how my mind was programmed that, I respected my mother, I respected my grandmother, but when it came time to decisions that's going to affect my life, then I kind of got selfish, and I really just wanted to do what was for best of me. So she kicked me out, and my uncle lived around the corner. He was 24, 25 years old, running the streets, getting money, the prime of his life. He let me move in, and that was just the start of real manhood, because again, he was 25 years old, guys. Running the streets. He got a girl, running out, doing what he got to do. When he just took in his 16-year-old nephew, I ain't have nothing. My grandma shut my phone off. I ain't have no job. I ain't have no money. I didn't have anything to support myself other than just sleeping at my uncle's house. Whenever his girlfriend would cook, I would eat. He'll give me a couple bucks from time to time, but sometimes he was so much on the go. I wouldn't see him for hours at a time, 10 hours, 12 hours, 8 hours, and I would just be out and, trying to hang out with friends and people. Like, I just couldn't relate to nobody in school. I couldn't relate to nobody, all my friends, because all my friends had their mom. All my friends had, maybe not their dad, but their mom and their sisters, and they lived at home. And for me, I always had that, I had that feeling where it's just like, it just wasn't right. It didn't feel, it's nothing that a 16-year-old teenagers should feel at that time, like a sense of loneliness, a sense of urgency, a sense of growing up. Like, I had to grow up because I didn't have immediate family that showed me love and care and talked about college or any of that stuff. It was just, you hungry, or all right, you good, cool. Like, it was just, I was just, that's nephew that's around, So, fast forward through all that stuff, I still made it through. I ended up actually, my uncle actually caught a case about 9 months to me living with him. And within the next, 9 to 12 months, I ended up having to move from him because I was slowly getting into the streets myself. So he was stressed out. He know he was going, he know that where things was going for his life, and he seen where I was going. He didn't want me to dictate his family or anything he had going on. So he, was like, listen, Neff, I love you. Listen, I got a resource for you, but you can't be here, but I'm not going to leave you out to dry. So I said, you know what? I appreciate everything you've done for me. I've come this far. I'm all right. I'm going to keep on shaking and moving. So I ended up, living with a friend, finished out my junior year of high school, got into boxing a little bit, started my senior year of high school. I was living with a friend. He was actually, called a plug. He was the plug in our area. I was living with him. I lived in the cellar basement. He had this 600 square foot house, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, him and his girlfriend, but a whole downstairs basement, unfinished. So, and I paid him $300 a month in rent. So that whole junior year, the summer of my junior year, I was hustling. I was getting my money up, making a couple $100, nothing crazy, but I was saving up my money because I was paying rent. I was trying to be more responsible. And at this point, I was a man now. I didn't have nobody in my corner. Nobody was in my corner at this point. So, so I started living with my friend. I went to my senior year of high school. It was cool, man. I was living by myself. I was paying rent. I was, just all over the place, smoking, partying, just all over the place, not going to school, smoking before school. I was failing my junior year. I wasn't even on pace to graduate my senior year. And come Christmas time of my senior year, our house got raided and things changed drastically for me. I had $800. They took my money. I got locked up. It was an investigation that later my charges did get acquitted in this situation, but a whole investigation, it just got sour fast. We was let out on a summons later that day, and going into after that, my mind, it went back to, remember I've been saying, nobody's going to dictate my livelihood. So I'm just saying to myself, like, yo, it's okay. Like, get your money, but don't let these fools trick you out of your spot, is what I told myself. And when we came home, I just seen his mentality that he didn't care, invited all our friends back over the same way we was living. I'm just like, you know what? I got to make a change. So now, I'm 17. I'm halfway through my senior year, probably got to do summer school to graduate. And I ended up dropping out of school because I had so much going on. I was actually boxing. So I was adopted through a nonprofit organization. Y'all always hear me say this on my lives: no guns, just gloves. It's a boxing program for at-risk youth that help youth like myself get out the streets and just get themselves out of bad situations through boxing activities. So while that summer, when I was running the streets, hustling, preparing to be a man, going to school, I was going to the gym every single day because I found a sport that I love. So long story short, I was just one of their special students, and they kind of looked into my life more because it wasn't adding up to them. Like, I was traveling to the gym. I was catching a bus, guys. I was catching a 2-hour bus. I had to make 3 stops. I would come home from school. I would go straight from school to the bus station. From the bus station, take me to one stop. I got to get off, wait there 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes sometimes, get on another bus stop, take me to Asbury Park bus station. I had to wait there for another 15, 20 minutes. And then it'll take me over to the boxing gym in Neptune. And I was doing this faithfully for like 4 or 5 months because I just wanted out. Like, my current life was what it was, but I didn't really want that for my life. But I had to survive. I had to figure out a way to eat. I had to figure out how to just make ends meet with my situation. I luckily had some good people in my life that helped me out, between my grandmother, between my uncle, between my friend that I was living with, that it wasn't as bad as it could have been. I always was taken care of to a certain extent, but as a man, I wanted to fend for myself, because people not going to do for you, but also much if they don't see you trying to help yourself. So, that's pretty much where leading up to that. So I adopted No Guns, Just Gloves program, got into boxing, over 25 amateur fights. They helped me get my driver's license. They helped me get my GED that same summer, my graduation year. They helped me become a man. I was working in the gym. I was a full-time amateur boxing, was getting my mind right, teaching me discipline, teaching me hard work, dedication, getting up, running 5 a.m. over 6 miles from one town to another town just to run to another fitness gym to work out for an hour and a half, go have breakfast, and then start my boxing session. So I was literally living with my boxing coach, and I start off training like literally a professional boxer. So it was a great time for me because it was the first time in my life in so long where I felt like someone cared for me. I had a house, I had a bed, I had food. It was just really good for me. A game system that I was able to play whenever I wanted. Ike, are you good? Like, someone always making sure that I'm good, that I'm okay, I'm comfortable. And it was a good feeling. I felt like I had a life, like I had a family again. And for, since I was 14 years old. So, and 4 years later, I felt like I finally had a family of people that actually care for me. So I was like really, really great. So, fast forward through all that, I was boxing. I had a lot of fights all through the tri-state. I had my first child when I was 20. Her name is Jayla, 5 years old now. And, I got out of boxing. I was in and out of it through discipline and through, life things. But ultimately, boxing truly saved my life. It helped me become the man that I am today. And it's taught me discipline, hard work, dedication, chasing your dreams, like all them things that we're going to need as entrepreneurs. I took that and brought that into my entrepreneur space. So, I jumped out of boxing, had a baby, got right back in the streets, right back to what I was doing. This time I was ready to play at a full out level. I'm 20 years old now. I'm not 17 no more. I got a car, I got a little job going. I got some income. So I'm back out here. I I moved away from my area. I got low in a sense. And, you know, I came back out here just with the demeanor just to be the man, to just make a bunch of money and try to stay out the way. And what every other hustler, dope boy, trapper mentality is. So I got back in there full-fledged, you know, got my money up, like just got it made, bunch of money, you know, bunch of money was making, you know, baby mama drama, you know, trouble, friends, snakes around me, you know, partying, you know, got to watch your back, got to make sure, you know, the cops not like, I went through that whole lifestyle for over 2.5 years straight, went through that whole lifestyle. And luckily through that, in 2014, I ran into Jay Morrison after being out of the streets all day, just going home, going on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube now. I used to use YouTube just to listen to rap music, listen to, you know, trap music to just influence my trap hustle. That's the only reason why I utilized YouTube. Also, I used to watch a lot of Floyd Mayweather fights too in boxing. So, but now I'm live on YouTube on Black History Month, really trying to give some game back and put my people on. And real quick, Instagram, if you're tuned in, go check us out over at YouTube. Can you pin that in? Just pin in my first and last name. If you search that on YouTube, we're live on YouTube as well. So you guys will be able to actually get on it because I'm about to jump on a webinar in like 2 to 3 minutes. I'm just finishing up, wrapping up my story, just trying to help the family, just see if we're aligned and just show you guys where I really come from. So met Jay Morrison, 3-time felon turned real estate mogul. An ad popped up in the corner. It was almost like God sent this to me. And it was so alignable because if it was another person with a different storyline, even something simple as show you how to make money in real estate with no cash and no credit, I probably wouldn't have clicked on it. I always thank Jay Morrison so much because I never really got into real estate for real estate. I got into real estate because Jay did it, and Jay life story and what Jay went through and how he was telling us how to wake up and get out of this. And it was a strategy. It was entrepreneurship. It started making sense for me. I'm like, yo, I'm in control of my destiny. I could build my why. I could control my day. I could have team members. I could be the boss. That's more appealing for me. I like that without having to watch over my back. Oh, that's a win right there. So that was really the turning point for me. I watched so many videos of him on that day. I learned about how to get a secure credit card. I learned, you know, how to get a secure credit card, get secure loan, how to build my credit. I learned a little bit about, you know, buy a multifamily, a 4-family, live in one, FHA, 3.5% down with a 580 credit score better, up to 3.5% down, live in one, rent the other 3 out. And that's how you start building wealth in real estate. I learned all the basics in the beginning. I jumped into his course the same night. It was the first year. It was the first year of the JMA course. Jumped into it first year. Learned about wholesaling, buying and holding, buying and flipping, branding yourself, everything that, you know, we're going to jump on some of it, not all of it tonight, but some of it, learned about all that stuff and some, got into real estate, was really focused on wholesaling, got my first deal done in 6 months. I made $12,500. And guys, listen, that was the start of it. It showed me I was a believer. It showed me that it works. And it took me time, to be honest. I was still stuck in the streets, you know, still dibbling and dabbling, trying to figure out, you know, what entrepreneurship was. And I had to invest in other things to get me to where I am. 2018, I've been able to build a team, have an office where I'm shooting this video right now. A team of over 6 people that's highly influenced, highly motivated, believe in me, look at me as a leader. And I lead us to victory every single day, every single week. 2018 was able to, you know, do over 25 deals, generate over $250,000 in revenue, you know, as a 25-year-old high school dropout, you know, from, you know, a very, you know, diverse area, very racial, not really designed for our type of people to win. It's not really, you know, cared for our people to win. But through it all, guys, I'm here. I'm standing here. I'm, you know, still going through trials and tribulations every day, still family drama, still a lot of different things that I go through. And I'm still staying here today, you know, proud, you know, hungry and want to feed this stuff to you guys. It's Black History Month. You know, we gonna put our people on. We're gonna put our people on. So I'm super excited. We're about to get rocking and rolling again. Instagram, I want to show y'all some love. Y'all always show me love. Check us out on YouTube. My name should be pinned up there, ISSAC GRACE. That's Isaac Grace, and you guys can tune in because we're about to get into this. We're about to get rocking and rolling. Guys, pull your pens out, pull your notebooks out, lock yourself in because we're about to go in. We're about to really really go in. Like literally, we're about to go in. I'm about to give you guys so much information. Like no one's ever, you've never been on a webinar and going to get this much information about this business that I'm going to give you guys to show you guys how genuine I am to see y'all win. Because I'm going to win regardless. You know, whether anybody invest in me, I'm the Jay Morrison Academy Wholesale Mastery Coach, linked up with Jay. A lot of y'all know my story. I'll get into that, but I'm the Wholesale Mastery Coach, so I do offer a program, but I'm about to lay it all out for you guys. Information overload, because I'm going to win regardless. My company, we're going to win. We got deals on the table. We got revenue we're going to make. We got all of that stuff coming in, but you know, I want y'all to win. That's my bigger why, to me to get on this path and start bringing my kings and queens on, because this wasn't taught to us in school. This wasn't taught to us in family wealth or family sit downs and family meetings. So when I say for Black History Month, I'm about to give y'all so much information on wholesaling, all about this business, so much stuff that's going to blow your minds away. So we are going to get started. So again, lock in, get your pencils, lock yourself in the room, kick the babies out, tell your girl, leave you alone, tell your man, leave you alone. Somebody asked a question. Yes, this will be recorded. It will be recorded. So I will figure out a way how to put this on autopilot so you guys can catch it again. But, you know, I'm not sure when I'm going to get it out. This is a lot of valuable information. I'm doing this as a one day courtesy, and we may repurpose this in other ways. So, you know, it will be recorded, but I'm not sure when it'll be available. All right, so let's get rolling. Let's get rolling. All right. So we're going to present this bad baby right up here. All right. The CEO guide for wholesaling real estate. All right. So we're going to talk about the guide, what to expect in today's webinar. First, we're going to talk about the paths that we face as millennials today. You know, we're going to talk about the problems that we face as millennials. We're going to talk about 3 ways to win in real estate, the 3 ways to win in real estate. We're going to talk about the wholesale play. So I'm going to break the whole wholesale play down for you guys, step by step, from what you do, step by step. So you guys really see that and get that, how it really works. Then we're going to talk about wholesaling the right way. It's one thing to do a wholesale deal, but then I'm going to teach you guys how to go about it the right way to keep yourself out of the tangle, out of legal disputes, out of bad representation. And we're going to talk about them things as well. Then we're going to go into the 5 pillars to a lucrative wholesaling business. So that's valuable game right there. Then I'm going to tell you guys life as a successful wholesaler, me personally. Then we're going to talk about the offer that I got on the table for y'all tonight. The offer is my most excited part of today. I'm trying to tell you, this is going to be so much information for you guys. I don't even know if you're going to be able to ingurgitate all this today. So I'm going to advise you to take notes. Again, I'm giving you guys this. Honestly, I can charge anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500 for this webinar that I'm about to provide for you guys. I'm giving out for free. It's Black History Month. It's Black Love. I want to see my people win. Anybody who is on this webinar, you know, whether you Black, blue, or purple, you know, I want to see all of us win. But more importantly, I want to see my kings and queens win that was less fortunate, and all people that's less fortunate of, you know, being provided this stuff at a reasonable price. So let's get rolling. So we're going to talk about the past we face as millennials. So before I jump into it, I'm sure whoever follows me, you hear me guys, you hear me talk about being a millennial hope dealer. So this is a vision that King Jay gave for me as I became a wholesale mastery coach just earlier this year. Like all this stuff, guys, this ain't no 15, 20 years ago. This is 8 months ago, 9, probably 11, 10 months ago at this point now, 8 to 10 months ago. He's like, yo, King, you could really take over that millennial space right there. Like anybody from the ages 18 or, you know, 33 or 28, whatever the numbers was, like you could really take over that space and be the hope for them people. And, you know, I'm just like, okay, I like that. I like that right there. Like to be able to influence, you know, younger kids over a little younger. I'm 25. So I get the young heads and then I get the older people that track to me. So it's a perfect balance of where I'm at in my current age, where there could be people in their late 20s that still need the game, but then they can relate to someone younger than them doing it. And then likewise on the other side, a young high school dropout, young high school college graduate, you know, coming in there and you know, seeing somebody that's within their age frame to give them that hope. So I really took on that whole being a millennial hope dealer. So you guys will hear me a lot speaking about being a millennial hope dealer, speak about, how I'm just trying to provide hope, strategies, game, testimony, real life stuff to give my millennials hope. Like, I want to see all of us win. I want to see in 10, 15, 20 years when, maybe 100 of us or thousands of us can link up and we could do massive things. We can buy massive pieces of land and buy multi-family properties and put together nonprofits and just do some amazing things that can really, really ultimately move our culture forward. And it starts with us. It starts with building wealth. It starts with, getting in the game. And if you don't have the know-how, if you don't have the mindset, it's going to be really, really tough to get in that game. So let's talk about the past that we face as millennials. So as we are entering our millennial age range, about 18 years old, we're just graduating high school. So a lot of times at this point, you got two options. You got three options, really. Well, you got four. You got four options right now. But these are the reasonable options right now. This is the average American option that they're facing, job or college. Now you got the streets and everything that comes with that, or you got entrepreneurship, which a lot of people, that's not pushed on an 18-year-old as much. Nowadays, honestly, you do see it more often, but it's really not pushed and forced on a young high school kid. Be an entrepreneur, start your own business, either get a job or go to college or get in these streets with us, youngin'. So those are really your three options, from a statistical standpoint. So let's just talk about jobs. Good job opportunities are really slim to none. Like, no time freedom, no control. You're working for someone else. You really have nothing to pass down your family generation. Or you take the other route, college, which a lot of people do, but you really have no guarantee to your dream career. Statistics say 27% of students obtain a job related to their major. So 27%, that's 27%. So out of every 100 people, only 27 people actually land a dream job. Financial burden, between being in college, trying to, take care of yourself, trying to, go out, still turn up, still have food for yourself, still get some clothes, get, your school books. And then on top of all that financial burden, you get an accumulated debt on top of that. And then it can also be potentially time wasted if you don't have clear, definite goals, if you don't have the right support system around you. I'm watching so many kings and queens coming to me like, yo, King, I'm about to graduate college. I'm jumping right in your course. I can't wait to get in real estate. And I'm like, I say to myself like, damn. So this young king or queen, I ain't gonna say wasted, but it's wasted time. Really, if now you want to do real estate full time after 4 years of college, you could have started 4 years ago. But again, sometimes you didn't have the know-how, so it's really not your fault. But I'm seeing this, and my job as the millennial hope dealer is to help some of my younger people save the time. Don't just go to college if you're really not sure what you want and you don't have a clear path. So it could really be a potential waste of time. So let me go back real quick. So problems that we face as millennials. So after we figure out college or a job or the streets or entrepreneurship, what are the problems that we face? Resources. We got lack of capital, lack of credit, lack of knowledge, network, mentors, and support. You don't really, when you get in here, you don't have that. And when I went on my Young and Wealthy tour, I talked about a lot of this, how to get mentorship, how to get the knowledge. My team, know how to get credit. We know how to get capital now. We know how to network. We know how to support. We got the support. The mindset. The mindset is one of the biggest things that, really is the win in this business is really your mindset. So we start off with negativity. Oh, this ain't going to work. Fear. I'm scared to talk to a seller. Doubt. I ain't going to get a deal done. Hope. I hope I could just get a deal done. Hesitation. Oh, I don't want to call the seller because impatience. I just want the money now. I want the money now. So that's the mindset that we start off with naturally, as the hip hop culture has brainwashed us to really be impatient. The natural, our mothers, our family members has taught us how to overthink, how to hesitate, don't go after that. That's you. How you going to make $1 million in real estate, Mike? How you going to make $1 million? Really? Well, I hope you do it, but I think you should get a job while you trying to go after that. Like, that's what our families, our culture is. It's a curse in us now. It's a curse in all people, humans, naturally. to not really think positive. And I'm so thankful for myself because I've been on my own so much. I had to be strong-minded. I had to learn how to talk to myself and be positive. You know what, you're going to get through this. Just, it could always be worse. Don't give up. Just stay focused. You're going to get out of this slump. You still destined for greatness. You still going to get there. It ain't when you want it, but now you got to work harder to get it. So I've been able to be so thankful for what's happened to me in my life, and really not knowing, I'm able now to look back on it and see what it's done for me. So entrepreneurship, we're going to talk about this. This is just the strategy right here. This is what everyone needs to be getting into at this point in life. Entrepreneurship, the process of designing, launching, and running a new business, which is often a small business. Really, my version of entrepreneurship is jumping off the cliff, becoming a CEO of your last name, building generational wealth, being in control of your time, your destiny, your future, your say-so, where your kids go to school at, or how they go to school, or what they learn. That is entrepreneurship, and what I think about being that CEO of your last name. So there's pros and cons of entrepreneurship. It's such a broad topic. It's such a powerful business. Anybody you think of an entrepreneur, you see all positive, but there comes with a lot of cons with entrepreneurship. So our pros is legacy, control, wealth, lifestyle, freedom, and you could travel. I'll speak about the why, but then your cons is stress, no guaranteed pay, early mornings, late nights, fear, doubt, hope, all of them other things we spoke about. So what I want to really get into, and before I jump into 3 ways of real estate, and then we're going to start getting into the real estate stuff, but guys, I really want you to understand this, because real estate, this business is not going to work unless you work. And the only way you are really going to work is that if you have to shift your mindset. It really starts with the mindset. You have to change the way that you think. You have to reprogram your mind. You have to really sit down and analyze, what do you want for yourself? And you can't really answer this question in 5 minutes, in 20 minutes. You can map it out over a month span, but it will always change as you grow. But it takes weeks to really, at least for the standpoint of where you're at today, to really understand, what do I want out of life? Why am I doing this? I know I want money, but why else am I doing this? I know I want to eat. I know I want to be comfortable, but it has to be bigger than that. Sometimes it got to be bigger than you. Like for when we have kids, for example, once you finally have a kid, for all my mothers and fathers out there, you understand what I'm talking about right now, because sometimes if you ain't got no hope right now, you got kids that give you hope, because you got to feed them. You got to give them joy. You got to show them that it's doable. And no matter how weak, how strong you are, you have them that you always look at that keeps you going when you want to quit. And that's sort of what your why is supposed to be. Like your kids. Your why equals not your physical kids, but you have to treat your why as if it was a newborn baby that you have to nurture. Your why, for me, my why is to become the CEO of my last name, build wealth and all that. We already know. CEO of my last name. I want to empower the millennial, the youth community. I want to empower them and motivate them and help them out. I want to inspire young millennial entrepreneurs, young business professionals. I want to inspire them and give them game and teach them and cut their learning curves. I want to travel the world. I want to be a role model for my kids. I want to be a role model for my team members, for anybody associated, affiliate with me. I want to travel the world. I want to get my time back. Those are my whys right there. So do you see why I go so hard, how I go when I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm chasing the money every single day. I'm showing up every single day. Do you see how my why is? This is what I think about when I wake up every single morning. This is what I think about when I'm stressing. This is what I think about when the money isn't coming in, when I got to get up early, when I got to stay here late. This is what I think about, my why, because I'm not there yet. I don't have my time freedom back. I can't travel the world. I don't have the wealth that I want. I don't have the control that I want. I'm empowered, but there are things that I'm doing. I'm empowering you guys. Literally, I'm living my why right now. So I want y'all to really hone in on that. Take time out to map out your why, your lifestyle, your perfect day. If you can live a perfect week, a perfect day, map that out. What does that day look like realistically? Map that out and get aligned with that and live that perfect day every single day. And I'm living my perfect day. I get up, I work, I check in on my kids. I check in on my peoples. I orchestrate my team. I motivate, I inspire, I lead, I chase deals. We get customers, you know, we got ups and downs. We get cursed out. Like everything that I visioned in my why, it happens to us. I'm empowering people and I'm living it and I'm content with it because I know this is what I wanted for my life. And I know that this is what's going to get me to where I'm on my way to. It all makes sense. It's all logical thinking. I'm putting logical, strategic plans together. And I'm not just throwing out bullshit. I'm not just saying, oh, I want this, I want that. And I don't got no plan to back it. So you got to reverse engineer from the top and work all the way back to how you're going to start it out. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to talk about 3 ways to win at real estate. So we're going to talk about the 3 primary ways. So the most popular one is buying and flipping. We hear this, you know, fix my house, all these HGTV shows, fixer upper, you know, massive renovations, like all that stuff that's the most popular way. In real estate, the key is the business is return on investment. Excuse me. How much money you invest into it? How much did I make on that? How much did I profit on that money that I invested? It's a percentage. So let's just say that you put $100,000 into something, you profited $10,000. So you put in 100,000, you got 110 back. You made a 10% return on your investment. So buying and flipping is when a person purchases a property with the intentions to make renovations or to sell it for a cheap price to improve the resale value in order to gain profits. So a fix and flip can be 2 ways. Either you just buy low as is and sell it higher than what it is. It's a buy and flip. Or you buy it low, make massive renovations, make it like new, and you resell it to the top of the market in order to make a gain or make profits, make an ROI. Buying and holding is when a person purchases a property for the purposes of steady monthly income and equity and appreciation and tax advantages and control and ownership and legacy building as well. So, you know, same thing with that. It's all about your ROI. How much did I invest into the project? What percentage of my investment I'm bringing back per year? So you'll take your rental income, so $1,000 a month in rent times 12 months. That's going to give you $12,000. You'll subtract, that will be your net rental profit. And then for your gross rental profit, you subtract your taxes for the year. You subtract your homeowner's insurance. You would subtract your property management fees. And now you got your net profit. You divide your net profit by your all-in cost. You'll get a yearly percentage on your return on investment. So let's just say that quick numbers, you invest $100,000 into a house. You make $10,000 net profit a year on it. You make a 10% return on investment. And then wholesaling is really the most popular way. It's the more recent popular way. The ability to position yourself between motivated sellers and cash buyers in a real estate transaction. So now, guys, we're going to talk about the wholesale play. So we're going to jump into this, guys. I'm going to walk you through this. Again, Instagram. How many people we got on Instagram? All right, Instagram. We over here on YouTube. If you want to check us out, we're on the live web. We're actually on a live webinar over here on YouTube. If you want to check it out, again, this should be pinned up there. So just type that in on YouTube in the address bar, and you should see my YouTube page come up. And you should see the live right there. So just come jump in over here, man, and get this game, man. It's Black History Month. We're giving out free game. All right, so the wholesale play. All right, so you got your wholesaler. That's you. That's us. We're the B person. We're the middle person in this transaction. And that's you right there with your briefcase, looking like money, going to chase the money, going to, define your why, going to get some deals, going to, get your time back, going to put your family in a better position, put yourself in a better position, buy that Bentley that you want, quit your job like you want. That's you right there in the middle, just trying to figure that out. The objective is to go out here and find motivated sellers. That's the objective, to find people that are motivated to either motivated property owner, motivated situation, or somebody just wants to sell for a discount or okay with not selling for retail. Got your house up there. And then simultaneously, you are building a list of cash buyers in your market. Cash buyers are going to represent, 80% of your business. They're going to represent majority of business. They're the people that are going to pay you. So the average cash buyer buys 2.5 deals a year. The average wholesale fee is $10,000. So each cash buyer, each relationship that you build, on average represents $25,000 for you and your business. So that's your cash buyers right there. You got them right there with bags looking to give you the money. Literally, Isaac, go find them deals. I don't care how much you make on them. Just go find me a good deal. You know how I like my deals. I don't care you make 50,000. I don't care you make 5,000. Just go find my deals. All right. So let's just speak about a scenario. Let's just say that I send out a postcard and we get a motivated seller that calls us. They're motivated. They're looking to sell ASAP. Let's just say that it was an inherited. Okay. So let's just say that homeowners can be motivated in many ways. So in this instance, I gave you guys 3 examples. It can be inherited homeowners. So a person who inherits a property, mother died, grandmother died, uncle died, and a property is passed down or given to them. Let's just say that with that, we sent out that postcard to inherited list. And let's just say that the property was vacant and they were tired of paying the taxes on the property. So we went through, and we're going to talk about sales later in this webinar, but I'm just going through the play right now. So let's just say we went through our script. We got all the information out of them. So we knew they were motivated. It was a high quality lead. They were looking to sell as soon as possible. They was an inherited homeowner. Property was vacant. They were tired of paying taxes. We got a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1-car garage ranch house, and they're asking $100,000. So for us, a rule of thumb is their action price doesn't really mean anything to us. It's just a measuring gauge to see really how reasonable on top of their motivation are they. So now what happens is we have a checklist that we need to do. There are some steps that we need to follow as we go through this process. So we want to qualify that lead when we hang up. In my instance, this is a motivated lead. A high motivated seller. So this is a high priority task. We want to step 2, immediately evaluate that deal. The formula for evaluating a deal is your after repair value. The way you find your after repair value is pulling 3 comps in a half-a-mile radius that are within that neighborhood that are almost exactly like your property. A ranch house within about 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, same amount of square footage. You can give or take maybe 200 to 300, give or take. So if you got $1,000 square foot house, you can probably go to 1,300 and down to 700, or more like 800 to 1,200. So you have that little wiggle room to gauge. And for every 100 square feet, you can always probably, and every market is different, but estimate 2,500 to $5,000 in value for every 100 square feet that is bigger. So you find your 3 comps, you're going to multiply that by your purchase ratio. So the purchase ratio is really just the built-in profit. It makes the profit for your investor. So we use the 0.65 rule to 0.75. So it just all depends on your market. So what that means is if the house is worth $100,000, we want to immediately multiply that by 0.65. So that means that we want to be all in this property, 65% of what we can sell it for. So when we multiply it by the purchase ratio, it's going to give us a number. So 100,000 times 0.65, it's going to give us 65,000. That's our all-in cost. Now, remember, we got to back out our repairs now. So we got to, off that 65,000, we got to subtract our repairs. Let's just say that's 20,000. Now we have 40. Now we got to subtract our wholesale fee. How much money we're going to make on a deal? Whatever you want to make. Let's just say you want to make 20,000. So now you subtract 20,000 and that equals your offer price. So now you make an offer at 20,000. You're able to sell it for 40,000. You make 20 on it. The investor go ahead and put 25,000 into it or 20,000 into it. And then he got closing cost for $5,000. He's all in it. So 25,000, all in at 65,000. So now he can sell it for 100,000 and make a profit. Step 3 is go on that appointment, access the property, make the offer. Step 5. Step 6 is negotiate if needed. And step 7 is sign the contract. So once you sign that contract, that's your A to B contract. That's your purchase contract up here. So then now you got a couple steps more. You got to go sell the deal now. So you got to package up the deal. You got to email, text all your buyers. You got to set up appointments, show the property. You get the assignment contract and a deposit. You send the docs to your title agent or your closing attorney. And from there, you liaison the deal. So you pretty much quarterback it, communicate with everybody, keep everybody on pace to closing. Now you got your assignment contract. So that's your B2C contract. So you now in wholesaling, you get 2 contracts. You got an A to B contract, which is your purchase contract, giving you exclusive rights to the property, only you, with the option to assign it and or assigns. And then now you're able to sell that same contract that you're on the contract for, 20,000, to your investor. You sell that piece of paper for 20,000. And now you do that through an assignment contract. So now you got your 2 contracts. You will take them 2 contracts to your title company or your closing attorney. And then what happens is they're going to pull title. They're going to address title issues with seller if there are any, ensure title, prepare seller docs. So prepare the document preps for the seller to sign off on so that we can get to the HUD, the Schedule C, the HUD statement. And then for us, you got to complete all township requirements to transfer title. And then we'll be presented with step 6 will be receive your HUD, your Schedule 1 settlement statement. And that's what will go. That's pretty much the receipt of the selling of the property. So then what happens is you got your closing attorney, your closing agent, you got your buyer, you got your seller, and you got you. Honestly, you don't even need to be at the closing. You don't really, you don't have to be there. There's no reason really for you to be there because you sold your deal to this guy here and you just have a check. So what happens is the buyer will pay the title agent the $40,000. 20 goes to the seller. Then the title company is going to cut out a check, 20 to the seller, 20 to you. And now the buyer gets the house, the seller gets their money, you get your money, and everyone's happy. So now we're going to speak about wholesaling the right way. So now everybody understands how the play goes. So now we're going to talk about really how to do it the right way. And this is a concept that I picked up from one of my mentors, Kent Clothier, reverse wholesaling. So think about this real quick. Did you know in your market there is millions of dollars being spent each month on real estate transactions? Like, think about that. Like, we all know that each month there is millions of dollars being spent on real estate investments, transactions, period. So what does that mean to us? Like, you think, okay, Isaac, you say that, but what does that mean to us? If we can figure out a way to position, AKA get in between, AKA find the deals, the millions of dollars that's being spent each month, then can we all agree that we could get a percentage of that $1 million that's being spent? Absolutely. So what is it going to take? We got to understand that data is king. We got to understand that information is king in this world. That's how Amazon has become what it's becoming. That's how, Bill Gates, all of these successful people, Eric Thomas, LeBron James, Jay Morrison, Floyd Mayweather, all of these great people, they are where they are because information is king and they understand how to go out and get the information and use it to their advantages. So you got to understand that data is king. When a real estate transaction occurs, it's documented through the township. So when a real estate transaction happens, it's all documented through your township. So if we can filter through the data, so we go down to our township and filter through all the transactions that are done, and we can figure out which ones are being done with cash, then we are that much closer to knowing what we don't know. Or if that is too complex. So if it's too much for you to go down and look through these big books that are literally this big, stacks of all transactions, you got to flip through to figure out which ones were done through cash, how were they purchased, finance, FHA, conventional, and pick out all the ones that say cash and literally get that build a spreadsheet on that, which will take hours and hours of manpower. If that's too much for you, another strategy that you can do is you can look for your local real estate agents. MLS can provide that same data. So they can pull searches just to say, all transactions done in the last 6 months that were done under the terms of cash. So once we are provided with all the cash transactions in our market, we can now contact these cash buyers. So what we say is, hey, how you doing? I'm Isaac. I see you purchased this property. I want to see if you're looking to buy more properties. Reverse wholesaling is going out to find your buyers first, nurturing that relationship, finding exactly what they want to purchase, and then you go create exactly what they say that they want. So we're going to talk about company layout now. So I'm going to give you guys from a CEO mindset what you need to be thinking about in your company. So this business, I always speak about this. If you watch a lot of my lives, I always say that this business is primarily a marketing and a sales business. So marketing, from a marketing standpoint, we want to focus on our marketing management. So from our marketing management is that we got to understand really, is that you? Turn that off, please. So what I really want to understand is that from a marketing management standpoint, we got to get in the game. We have to master marketing. We have to master direct mail. We have to understand cold calling. We have to understand RVMs. We have to understand driving for dollars, network marketing. We have to understand all of marketing and figure out exactly which ones are we going to go after, So we have to understand what it's really going to take. what really marketing is, all the pieces behind it, your marketing management. Once you understand that, then you got to put a marketing game plan behind that, which we're going to talk about later in our 5 pillars to a lucrative wholesaling business. And then you got to track all your marketing. So that was one of the biggest things. And that was what my mentor is literally teaching me as we're speaking about, really strategically tracking your marketing so that you can effectively eliminate what's time wasted activities and put that extra money into what's really working for you. Then you got your real estate networks and partners. So you're networking with your team building, which we're going to talk about, partners, private money, all them other things is also what comes into building out your business. Other opportunities outside of just wholesaling. Setting yourself up in position. I'm working with a mortgage broker now who's actually become a partner with me. We're about to partner up and buy a multifamily property in one of the most desirable areas in one of the most desirable towns in my area, all for like a super discounted price. And I'm leveraging his expertise, his know-how, so that I don't give up this deal. It's so sweet, guys. And today I was thinking about this earlier, how powerful real estate is because I'm selling this deal to myself and making $23,000 on the deal, still owning 50% of it, still having ownership control, legacy building, consistent cash flow. And when we cash out on this baby in 3 to 5 years, we might both walk away with a 6-figure payday. So I'm getting money on the back end, in between it. I mean, on the front end, in between it, on getting everything else that comes with home ownership, and on the back end of it. That's true power in real estate. So lead management. So on our sales side of our business, lead management. So once we master marketing, you get calls coming in. So lead management, we've got to understand how to qualify sellers, understand how to actually speak to sellers. I talk about my 8-step sales process on mastering how to figure out, find a motivated seller. 8-step sales process. We got to understand all that stuff, qualifying leads, evaluating deals, setting the proper appointments, pulling your comps, having your 4 numbers, understand like Sean Terry teaches us. That's another mentor of mine. Your low ball offer, your max allowable offer, your cash buyers, exit price on the deal, and your rehab cost on it. Then from there, we got to talk about sales, acquisitions, how to actually go out there, present a logical offer and get that baby under contract, how to negotiate with a seller, how to really read a seller like a book and understand what type of person that you're dealing with so that you can become a chameleon and be just like that person. People like doing business with people that they like or they think are like them. So we got to understand all this science and all of this stuff that is taught behind sales and their property dispositions. So we got to understand how to actually sell the properties. We got to have a solid cash buyers list. We got to have a great built relationship with our cash buyers so that when we bring them the smoking hot deal and they see that you're making $20,000, they respect you enough to not cut your pockets or try to cut throat on you. My buyers respect me because I give them fair deals. I'm real and they see me. They see the value. They see that I'm grinding. They see that, okay, you know what? I would like to pay less, but I respect him. I respect his position. He brings me so many deals. And if he didn't bring this deal, I would never have it. So let me just pay this $20,000, this $15,000, this $10,000, this $8,000 for this deal so that we all win and he can keep bringing me his properties. So now let's get into the fun part. This is, guys, I hope you guys are taking notes. Again, Instagram. How many we got on Instagram? All right. So it's lower. That's good. So Instagram, if you got a few minutes, hop over to YouTube. The pin is pinned on there. I'm into it. What time is it?
8:56.
It's 8:56. So we an hour into it. We probably got another 30 minutes to an hour left. I'm giving you guys this game here. Black History Month. I'm giving it to you guys. So YouTube, come hop over to Instagram, come hop over to YouTube and come join the family so that we are able to continue to provide this and give out this game. So the 5 pillars to a lucrative real estate wholesaling business. All right. So step 1 is building your team. So the one rule of thumb you want to keep in mind when building your team is you always want to answer this first question. What is in it for them? The people that you need in your team, what is in it for them? You got to master that. And that's what I was really good at. as I built out my team, as I, found my partner, as I got team members, because I can always show them. We already know what we're going to want out of all these people, but we got to be able to provide what is in this for them outside of just the basic, I'm trying to get you to give me a bid, or I'm trying to get you to pull comps. Like that's the micro, that's the small. We want to look at the macro side of it. Like the bigger picture. You got to show the people the bigger picture. Why? If you work with me and you help me, I'm going to show you why that's going to be a win for you in the future. And the problem is a lot of people don't even know what the future going to hold for themselves. So this is why it goes back to that why that we talked about. This is why it goes back to investing in yourself, getting mentorship, getting the right people around you so that you really can know that I'm going to win. Like me, I know I'm going to win. I know I'm going to make $1 million. I won't be surprised if I make $1 million in real estate this year is how confident I am. I got mentors around me. I got people around me that support me. I've invested over $30,000, $40,000 in education so that I can provide. I'm giving you guys 4.5 years, over 40, 50, probably even $60,000 of education and mistakes, giving you guys this for 2 hours of my time for free. Because I know what's in it for me. I got to answer what's in it for you guys. I know what I want out of this webinar. I got to show you guys what's going to be in it for you if you guys take me up on my offer that I got in this webinar. So let's talk about number one, building your team. You need real estate agents. You need cash buyers. You need contractors. You need closing attorneys, or title agents, and you need real estate attorneys. So I'm going to get a little brief into it. So with a real estate agent, what's in it for them? What's in it for them is that you as a real estate wholesaler, you are in the business of marketing. You are really good at finding and getting all homeowners to call you or call them up and at least potentially speak with them about selling their property. So I've mastered how to talk to all the homeowners in this market. So if you work with me, if you help me pull comps, if you give me some type of access to MLS so I can do what I need to do, I will make you my go-to agent for all my cash buyers because I know how to find all the buyers too. I know how to speak to all the sellers. So I understand that 95% of people are going to want to sell for retail, or at least try to sell for retail. So I'm going to refer all my potential selling clients to you if I can't get a contract on it within 30 days or something like that. Hold up. Oh, no. All right. I was about to update my computer and we were about to get shut down. So I hope we don't shut down, but I think I canceled that out. All right. So that's what's in it for them. I'll give you access to sellers. I'll let you be my listing agent. Any short sales, all my cash buyers, you can show your value to them, and then you can list properties for them. I'm doing motivational lectures all through this country. You can be my go-to agent. We're going to do home buying workshops. We're going to show the people how to be homeowners. You can be my go-to agent. You see how the macro that is, instead of just saying, oh, well, I can give you listings, or I can buy properties from you. Like that's not too promising. That's what an agent hears all day long. But when you tell an agent what I just said, they're going to be, you know what? I want to take this person is on to something. I want to work with them. Cash buyers. We already know what's in it for them. They want to buy properties. We want to give them properties. So when we're on the phone with our cash buyers, tell me more about what do you want in life? Do you have kids? What do you want for your kids? What type of relationship, if you had your time back today, what would that relationship look like with your kids? Are you married? Okay. Do you want to be married? Well, what would that look like in your perfect day if you were married? How would that like talk to me? Not trying to get too personal, but I really want to see if we're a good fit for each other, because then you're going to use that to say after 2 years, hey, Mike, you remember you told me, you wanted to do this or that. You want to travel the world. You want to start going on vacation. Listen, in 2 years, we've done 20 deals. You've netted blah, 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 blah. Look at you traveling. Like that's stuff that you don't get back. That's true wealth. That's true relationship building. That makes an investor pay more for a property and not count your pockets, because they really see that you have their best interest in mind. So they want to see you win as well. So then for our contractors, we already know what's in it. What's in it for us, we need estimates. We need repairs. So for them, same exact thing. You ask them the same type of questions. What do you want out of life? What would your perfect contracting business look like and help them get there. Closing attorneys, the same exact conversation. Outside of your day in and day out job, what do you want out of life? Same thing with that in real estate attorneys, as well as offering other networks and other people, say with real estate attorneys. Hey, I work with a lot of tire landlords that's dealing with evictions. You can be my eviction attorney or whatever, the real estate attorney for that. So it's a win-win. All right. So our step 2 is our marketing game plan. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So your marketing game plan is what marketing vehicles are you going to use? So when I say marketing vehicles, that is, are you using direct mail, cold calling, bandit sign? Like, what vehicles are you using to drive out your marketing? What motivated seller lists are you targeting? So are you doing absentee, pre-foreclosure, inherited, tax delinquent, whatever you're doing? How often do you infiltrate your game plan? So this is how you build a marketing game plan and say, all right, well, I'm dropping off 500 postcards a week. I'm doing 1,000 cold calls a week, and I'm doing 600 RVM drops a week, or whatever that's how you would infiltrate your game plan. And then you'll say, all right, well, I'm doing them 3 vehicles. I'm mailing out to absentee. I'm cold calling, distressed or vacant. I am doing RVM drops for out-of-state owners. So that's your marketing game plan. So again, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So if you're not putting together a game plan and going after it every single day, then you're missing opportunities. Step 3, your 8-step sales pitch. 30-second people. So people do business with people they like. So the key to the sales pitch is to get them to like you in that first conversation if they're motivated. They don't know you yet, but all they can do is judge you by your professionalism. So you want to step 1 is your 30-second sales pitch, introduction pitch. Hey, I'm Isaac Grace with Jersey Shore Property Solutions, local home buying company. Just giving you a call, want to see, were you just interested in just sitting down and entertaining the cash offer? No commitment, no strings attached. Would you be interested? Yes. All right. So then from there, personal details. All right, great. I appreciate that. If you don't mind, let me just gather some personal details about you, your name, all owners on title, phone number, emergency contact, email address, any other personal details you may need. All right, great. I appreciate that. Can I talk about the property? What's the property's address? How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? What's the condition? What's the lot size? What's the square footage? What's the style of the house? Any other details about the property, then any amenities, pool, deck, shed, any other things on the property. Property condition. All right. What's the last time you did the roof? Okay. What about the side? And what about the windows? What about the yard? What about the pool? What about the garage door? What about the floors? What about the kitchen? What about the bathroom? What about the heating and cooling system? What about the electric panel? What about doors and trim? Like all that stuff you want to get. How long ago did you do it? Okay. It's in good condition, but how many years ago did you update the kitchen? All right. It's in good condition, but you haven't updated 20 years ago. Okay. 20 years ago, I was 5. So it might need some updating, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Can we both agree? Boom. All right. So I appreciate that, Mr. Seller, all them great details. Tell me a little bit more about why you're looking to sell this house. Tell me what's going on. Tell me why why you considered, you answer from a complete stranger and we're on the phone talking. Like, is there something going on? Listen like a book, read them, dictate that. The motivation is the most important part on dealing with a seller, period, because if there's no motivation, you have no leverage. You have nothing to help them understand while giving a realistic offer. Why also sometimes all the value, you got to explain to a seller, I can't cash you out on all of your value, but I can give you some of it in money form. And then I can alleviate your stress and your motivations that we talked about too. That's value. You got to understand, seller, that's value too. Talk about price. If I give you a cash offer at closing, 14, 30 days, what does that number look like? Okay. You don't get, maybe you don't take that approach. Maybe you say, all right, what do you think the house is worth in this area? Okay. This house is worth about 200. All right. Well, what would it be worth if I fix it up? Or you say, what is the house worth in its current condition? All right. 200,000. All right. If I fix it up, what would it be worth? All right. 200, maybe 225. All right. Well, we just walked through the property. Well, at this point, you really can't say that, but all right. Well, we spoke about the property. It looks like it needs updates. So I at least got to put 50,000 into this. So what do you think you'll be asking for the property? Understanding me as an investor, I got to make a profit, not trying to kill you, but understanding that, what do you think you want for the house? All right, well, you got a price, you got motivation, set the appointment and then close up. Just wrap up the conversation. Make sure you got all your ducks in a row, all your details. You got the name, you got it spelled right, you got the property, verified property address, and that's it. Step 4 is your follow-up. The money is made in the follow-up. I can easily tell you guys, a lot of the deals that I've done, all my big deals are from follow-ups. So normally when you present an offer and it gets denied, or you speak with a seller and they're somewhat interested, you want to always follow up in 1 week after that. Then from that, you go to a monthly follow-up, 3 to 6 month follow-up, and a yearly follow-up. And you can always freestyle this. There's no set way. Sometimes, I call a seller and I don't get them on the phone. I follow up with them in 2 days or the next day. Or I make an offer and I just know that I was way off and I know that it's just not the right ideal person. I may push it back to a 3-month follow-up because I just know that it's not a high priority task right now. But the key and the reason why I put this in our 5 pillars is because no lead should ever, as long as the seller has equity, they have a reason to sell, even if they ain't motivated, as long as they have equity, and at the end of the day, as long as the house is sellable, has equity, then you need to keep them in your database to the day that your business shuts down or the day that they sell that house, or to the day that they threaten you to put lawsuits on you. You should always keep them in a follow-up and always keep in touch with them no matter what, no matter what. Step 5 is really one of the biggest ones, understanding your weekly stats. So key performance indicators, your KPIs, your cost per lead, your cost per deal, your offers per contract. So how you figure out your cost per lead, what you're going to do is you're going to divide your weekly or your monthly marketing expenses divided by how many leads did it cost. So you paid $1,000, you generated 10 leads. You will be paying $1,000 per lead. No, $100 per lead. Cost per deal. Let's say in that same instance, you get 1 deal. You got to divide that cost per deal. So you got to divide how many deals you did by how much money did you spend in marketing that month. So you got 1 deal, you spent $1,000, you paid $1,000 to get that deal. Offers per contract. So how many offers did it take you to get the contract? So then your revenue generating activities are the day-to-day activities that you need to be doing that's going to generate money. If you are stuck on putting your postcards together, putting your business cards together, building your website, getting company t-shirts, getting car stickers, getting all this other bull crap that does not make you money. Now, don't get me wrong. You want to implement this stuff. You want to make it sexy. You want to make it look good. You want your brand. Your brand is everything. But get that crap done. Get it done right and get it out the way, because that is not what is going to make you money on a day in and day out business, on a day in and day out basis. Now, in the long run, it does help you win bigger. But right now, while we're trying to scrum up our first deal, that's not what's really important. So for our revenue generating activity, we want to worry about each week. We want to make goals to this and then check our goals, be accountable for our goals weekly. Number of people we speak to, number of leads, number of appointments set, number of self-generated leads, number of listings referred. So that goes back to your agent or your team. Number of contracts, number of offers, number of appointments. So, guys, I just gave you all that game. What time is it? 9:11. So we just went in probably for like a nice hour. Just giving you the game. We talked about a little bit about the mindset. How to really get in that mindset, building out the why, understanding what you up against as millennials, college trap, the job trap, the hustle trap, the street trap. We talked about that stuff. I gave you guys realistic game from me. I won in the streets. I've been successful. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've bought things. I've been able to, be successful, but I'm still nowhere near where I want to be. I still can't make the amount of money that I want to make being in the streets. It's just not worth it for you guys. I'm trying to tell you, it's not worth it to chase that lifestyle. It's not worth it to make that be, by all means, your one and only. Real estate is way better. You make bigger checks. It's more fulfilling. It's less risk. It's a lot of risk, but it's less of a different type of risk taking. It's just a better lifestyle, man. You dress up different. You get appraised. You get complimented different from being a business professional than being a street boy. Um, you get respected more. You get the right relationships that come aligned with you. And ultimately, it just comes down to, you don't have to look over your shoulder. You don't have to risk your life. You don't have to worry about your friends envying you and really trying to cutthroat you. And it's sad to say in entrepreneurship, I'm 100% sure that this stuff still can happen, but through it all, you are not going against, the just the system and the law. Like, win the right way. Like, if someone snakes you and God forbid take your life because you're a successful real estate investor, I'm sure it's happened to people. But that's a lot better than knowing that some cat broke up in your house because you out here selling work and you the plug. So that's just really important, guys. Like, whether you do take the real estate route or you want to be a clothing professional entrepreneur, a movie acting film professional entrepreneur, whatever you want to do, just understand that entrepreneurship is the way of life, man. Entrepreneurship is the reason why our economy thrives and strives and win, because these risk takers. I truly believe that we all were put on this earth to serve a purpose. We all have something special and unique about us. And society has been so misconstrued. TV, news, social media, all this bullshit, racism. A lot of this stuff has taken us from our inner selves, our inner soul, that soul seed that's planted in us that's supposed to blossom, and you're supposed to find your message. This is why, as entrepreneurs, and when you get on a straight path, just the most weirdest things start happening to you because we are getting aligned with what God really had for us on this world. And until we all as a nation, as a universe, get on this path, then our universe will never really thrive and win how it's supposed to. And I was thinking about this one day, and sometimes I imagine, and I was saying to myself, like, what if we all were perfect? What if we didn't have all these distractions, drugs, violence, hurt, negativity? What if it was just all positive life and everything was positive and like pretty much how people think of heaven? Like, it's just, everything is just happy win. There's nothing, no such thing as negative, no such thing as sad, no such thing as death. What if everyone knew, and you knew that you could be anything that you wanted to be, because fear, doubt, none of that stuff stops you from going after it. Imagine what our world would be. We would have flying cars by now. I don't even like, it's hard to fathom what I really want to say, but I just feel like the world would be so more advanced because we would have more inventors. People's lives wouldn't have been cut so short of all the special people that have been on this earth, but have been cut short to gang violence, cancer, HIV, all these horrible illnesses. What if none of this stuff existed and people never died, and all you didn't really age, and all you can do is be great? Imagine what our world would be. Imagine how great it would be. Everybody would drive in nice cars. No one would envy each other. Everyone would be at conferences. Everyone would own real estate. Everyone would be inventors. Kids would be good. Everybody would be learning what they want, going to school, inventing, or doing whatever you want. And ultimately, our universe will win. Nonprofits. It would be options for all kids to chase whatever they want as kids. Film directors at 5 years old, dance directors, because people would have time to put this crap together. But it's just so many distractions in the world today, and so much just hate in the world. It's at a place where it's just no going back for the world at this point. But through all of it, there is still hope. Entrepreneurship is bringing us back. And it's really helping people win when they had no other way to win. So we're going to talk about the life as a successful real estate investor. So when I had put this PowerPoint together, I just threw up a couple checks. Like, it's not really about the money. I'm going to talk about some other things, but obviously everyone wants to say, show me the money. Like, I want money first. You're going to want money before anything else. Like, you need money to be okay, to be comfortable. I get that. You need money to help other people. You can't give $1 million to a charity if you ain't got $1 million for yourself. So, we got to understand that money's not everything, but it does start with making money and building a successful business that we can utilize to get our time back, to travel the world, to inspire, to learn, to educate, to help another brother or sister out. So as you can see, guys, this is a couple checks, probably a total of like $40,000, $44,000 in checks in 2018. As you can see, two of them actually was done back to back, $17,000, actually $27,000 in 2 days. The power of real estate, the power of wholesale. I never bought any of these properties. I never owned them. I never had to lift any fingers for them. I put little to no cash up for them for a total of $45,000. Is probably, maybe $5,000, $10,000 invested between long-term marketing, staying consistent with it. But through it all, guys, it was a return on my investment. So then I want to speak to you guys about, outside of just making money, guys, I'm building a legacy. Like, I'm in control of I'm in control of my future. I'm in control of being a CEO of my last name. I have a team around me. I'm able to motivate, inspire people that I look at as brothers and sisters. We started from the bottom. Like, me and my partner, sometimes we dwell on it and we say, yo, it's only been like a year and a half, yo. But like, and I started 3-4 years before that. But with just us and our just Jersey Shore Properties, which y'all see behind us, look at me. I got a backdrop with my company boarded behind me. Like, I'm in control of where I'm going. Like, that's a feeling that money cannot buy. That's a feeling that no love can't give you. This is an entrepreneurship feeling right here. This is a legacy feeling, just to say, like, yo, I am chasing that 1% of the world. I want to be a part of that 1% of the people that travel the world, that got their time back and do everything that they want for themselves, when they want it, how they want it, put their kids in whatever schools, put them in any type of activity, sporting, giving them the best trainers, the best musicians, the best pianists to learn from. And that's just what we all should really want for our family. I'm the Jay Morrison Academy Wholesale Mastery Coach. I traveled to Atlanta. I've been to Atlanta back and forth. I've been to Atlanta back and forth 5 or 6 times this year already. While my team, I'm still able to communicate with my team. I'm able to, go out there, kick it with Jay, still handling business, go see my family. I go out a little bit, able to somewhat chill a little bit. There ain't much chilling we should be doing. But again, I have businesses. I have my business set up, systems, processes all in place so that I'm able to move how I want and slowly start getting my time back. Outside of that, guys, I'm able to go and do my Young and Wealthy tour I did last year. Me and my big bro, Ramel Newworlds, we did a 5-city tour around the tri-state, empowering millennials to become financially lit through credit strategies, real estate strategies, and mindset strategies. I'm able to think bigger now. I'm able to be more thankful and give back to my people because I built the business in place. I see that at work. I see that giving is caring. One thing about me is why I was so successful in the streets is because I really genuinely helped a lot of people, whether it was the girls that I was dealing with, whether a person could say that they got over on me or they used me or whatever. I was genuine. I say that to my family members all the time. I don't care if a boy or a female or somebody uses me or feel like they're using me, because I'm genuine with what I do. And I know that giving is receiving. So for every person that felt like they got over on me, they didn't, because I'm sure that they look at me now and say, yo, you know what? I shouldn't have never did what I did to him, or I shouldn't have never took him for granted because he winning. Like, look at him still. He doing better than when I was around him. Like, I should have stayed around him and leveraged him instead of trying to get a quick dollar or whatever you want to call it out of him. So I'm content with understanding that if the more I give, the more I will get, the more blessings I will receive. I coach football for over 5 years now. I give back. I pick the kids up. I buy them uniforms. I sign them up for football. I take them to summer training programs. I give them food after practice, whatever I can do for these young kids, and I want to do more, but I give them hope to at least right now just play football and be comfortable with just being able to participate in football and not having to worry about how to get back and forth in practice. I picked them up. I would load my car up every single day for years. I had a 2016 I'm lying, 2012 Range Rover Sport. I would fill it up with the kids. They would dirty it up, mess it up, and I would be so frustrated. But listen, at the end of the day, this is what I do. This is for the kids, and I ended up getting a minivan after that. Well, actually, I got the minivan first, and then I don't even want to get into it. But I was so nice. I gave one of the parents my van. I'm such a giver. Like, I really, like,
I really want to help people, and I do stuff for people to put them in position to get ahead. So that's just me by heart. That's just me by nature. I'm really just a giver, and I've done so much giving, maybe too much giving in my life. But through it all, I'm just so thankful where I'm at, the blessings that I have, the team that's around me that supports me now, that does anything that I need when I need it. Don't ask me for anything, don't turn their faces up. And I think that I'm truly blessed with all this because I've always focused on giving, whether it's, even if I don't got the money, I give my time, my energy, my expertise. I give hope to you guys now. Like, I'm always just trying to give. Like, it don't got to just be money. I can give hope. I can give experience, my testimonies, taking my time out to, like, this is free. Like, the other real estate gurus, they're not giving you all this information like this for free. They may give you a little quick webinar, give you some strategies, but I've literally gave you, and it obviously can always be more, but I've given you everything at this point to understand what real estate is, what are the key components, mailing lists, like all that stuff. Like, you didn't get every single thing, but I've gave you enough to have hope and to go after this business. So, life as a successful wholesaler, that's where I'm at in my life. This year, I'm building a property as we're speaking. I bought a piece of land. I built a brand new house. I'm about to sell it. Now I'm about to go into the 1031 tax advantage strategies. I got my accountant. So, got success. Like, this is all from, I'm not bragging. I'm not trying to brag or nothing. This is all started from wholesaling real estate and learning. After I would wholesale deals, I would go to my investors' properties. I would ask them questions. I would say, why did you do this? Or how much did you pay for that? How much do you think you're going to sell this for? What do you want to profit on your deals? Like, I would take this information from the guys that are already doing it. That millions of dollars that we talked about that's being spent in your market. Not only do I get some of that money, I get that information from them too. So now I got a new construction property. I'm 2 weeks out from finishing it. I got a 2-family I'm about to buy with with a mortgage broker, a partner of mine now, very experienced guy, respect me, like what I'm doing. He loves my brand. He loves the success that I'm having so much that he's willing to partner with me 50-50 on a deal that we're selling to my company. I'm making $23,000. So that's the life right now for me as a successful real estate professional. I'm gonna call it now. Real estate wholesaler, real estate investor. That's just where I'm at currently in my life. I got my time back. I'm being more consistent with my kids. I'm working out my problems with, my kids' mothers. We only humans. We still got problems. But at the end of the day, this is just where I'm at. I'm in more control. I see the future. No one wins when the family feels, whether that's your family, your personal family, your kids, your team. No one wins when there's beef and there's confusion and there's no, when it's just misunderstanding. So I know I want to win, and I got to get everybody on board because I'm in control of this shit regardless of it. Like, you have to be selfish with your why. You have to be selfish with a lot of stuff and say, like, listen, I'm in control of this. So I have to control this. I need my team members. I need people that are going to play into my life of what I want to be on board. And we have to figure out a common ground on how we all can win. And that's what it's going to take for you guys. Because remember, I can give you this game, but this crap is not going to work if you don't have your why aligned and getting your family and personal life in order. Because it's going to be ups and downs. It's going to be trials and tribulations, people doubting you. You too scared because you think that your baby mom going to laugh at you or your homeboy that you're not dealing with no more. You don't want to do a IG live video because your homeboy that you don't mess with no more, or you don't want the other side of the town to laugh at you because you're trying to be different. But when you understand your why and you understand that you want to bring success for your family, you want to put your kids through private school, you don't want your kids to go to the best college, a black college or an Ivy League school college, you're going to be like, man, forget what they talking about. I know if I post this video up, I'm going to get traction, I'm going to get momentum, and my business is going to start rolling. So you got to understand that why, because there's going to be tough, difficult times and difficult opportunities that's going to kind of question you and make you hesitate. What time is it? 9:26. All right, cool. 9:26. All right. So we're going to talk about the offer. And before I bring the offer to you guys, I just want to take it back. a little bit when I was in a position before I knew what I knew, and I wanted to get to where I am today and even more higher. But, pretty much that gap right now where some of us on this call, some of us, maybe you want just to support me. Maybe you're brand new and you really on edge right now. Like, yo, how do I really get there? Or maybe you a supporter, like I just said, or maybe you in between and you just looking for that right mentor, whatever the case may be, wherever you at in your life, because I've been in all of these spots for the most part. And I remember when I really first got started, I understood and I know that education is the key. It ain't what you know. I mean, it ain't. I don't even gonna say that, but education is really the key. It's what you know, times with who you know. I know that they're saying that sometimes it ain't what. That's what. Sometimes it ain't what you know. It's who you know. And that kind of in real estate, it's what you know and who you know. But the knowledge is the power, and that is like one of the most important things is having the know-how, and then backing that with mentorship. And that's what got me where I am today. When I joined the Jay Morrison Academy 4.5 years ago, I paid for education and I got very valuable education. So much enough that I did my first deal by myself in 6 months by leveraging people that I met through the strategies that the Jay Morrison Academy taught me 4.5 years ago. But at the same time, remember, I was a high school dropout. I sucked at spelling. I sucked at reading. I sucked at writing. I had a fear that in my town as a Black man, that no one would take me serious. No cash buyers would really do business with me. No sellers would sell to me. No one would believe that I could come up with $180,000 to pay cash for their property. I dealt with all of this stuff, back at that time. But what I started learning was in 2016, I went out to a summit. I went out to the summit. And in this summit of over 300, 400 people, a 3-day event, I told myself that I was going to rebrand myself. I told myself that I was going to be a new person from this day out, because from the end of 2014 to the beginning of 2016, I might have did a handful of deals, but I was bullshitting. I was still in the streets. I wasn't serious yet. I wasn't doing it consistent enough. I didn't have the know-how yet. I didn't have nobody that I could rely on to call up and say, hey, King, this is where I'm at right here. How should I handle the situation? Or King, I feel like I'm stuck. How can I get to that next level? What do I need to do to ramp up my marketing? How can I speak with more? So I didn't have nobody right there. So I went to this summit, a wholesaling summit. Matt, probably one of the best wholesaling summits that I've been to in my life. And they had a game. Like it was like more like a participation game. They wanted people to be active. They had like a little app, a little Facebook group started up, and you had to be active in this group. And they watch you throughout the weekend, participating, networking in between the networking meetings. So guys, I crushed it. I brought a little tripod, my camera, and I say, you know what? I'm going to be a whole new Ike. I'm tired of being this low key, don't want nobody to know me type of person, don't want to speak to people, don't want to talk to strangers, don't want to show my talents, don't want to tell my story. I told myself I was going to be a whole new person from this day on out, and moving forward after that, I was going to be a whole new person. So after the 3-day event of over 400 people, I won in a room of 400 people. Majority of them, 88 to 92% of them was not my skin color, and about 80% of them was not within my age range. And I showed myself, I said, yo, like as a kid, I always knew that I was destined for greatness, but I lost hope through my teenage years because what happened to me. And at this very moment in my life, I said, yo, you special. Like literally, I said this to myself as if a big brother, a mentor was speaking to me. I said, yo, you special. You just showed yourself that you could really do anything that you put your mind to. So I left that event and I also joined their boardroom mastermind that same day, that same weekend. I joined their mastermind. I won a Rockstar Student of the Year. And I went out and I started masterminding with people that were in my business, doing it at higher levels. millionaires, people that were making millions of dollars for over consistent years already. And I got in a room with them and they helped me solve all of my problems. Spent about $15,000 to sit around these people just 3 times a year, three times for a total of 3 days for about 8 hours per day. 3 times, 3 days, 8 hours a day. So 8, 16, 24. So 24, 48. So I got 60 hours of their time for $15,000 to be able to master my business and bring back in a matter of a year and a half after I still was in my own way after this. Don't get me wrong. Listen, this life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. I'm still dealing with everyday struggles to become a better man. I'm not perfect. This is why I became the millennial hope dealer, because y'all see me with my do-rags on. Y'all see me, with grammar problems. Y'all see me saying my sentences how I want to say them. Y'all see me, turning up in the club from time to time. I do this because I'm real. I'm authentic. This lifestyle ain't no right or wrong way. Don't let nobody tell you there's a certain way to be an entrepreneur. Don't let nobody tell you that. You define your entrepreneurship. You define your terms. You define what success looks like to you. And the people that respect you, they'll follow you. I had people say, yo, King, why you walking around with a do-rag and a suit on? Trying to motivate us. And then I got people say, yo, King, with that do-rag on, it's just more inspiring because you got the do-rag on, and I just be like, yo, you know what? I'm just going to keep being me, the same old Isaac. They used to call me baby when I was a kid. So the same old baby from Lakewood, New Jersey, from the KPs, same old dirty little baby from the KPs is out here inspiring. I used to wear do-rags my whole life. They be dirty. They stink. Or just being authentic. I just, just being myself, I'm relating to my people. And it's really helping me fulfill my why, but putting on for the millennials out there. It's really helping my why because it feels good to help people understand. Because when I really met Jay personally and I got to know him on a personal level, it made me realize that, yo, Jay ain't no Hollywood. He not this perfect person. When you see him on YouTube, sometimes it's misconfused that, yeah, he's a felon, but he's perfect now. Now, King go through his everyday struggles as well. And it's great to rub shoulders with him because I'm able to hear him say, tough day, got a lot going on, trying to juggle, you know what I mean? And then this makes me say, oh, it's okay to embrace what you got going on because your idols is going through the same things. So guys, it just don't let nobody define that for you. You need to figure out at some point in your life, if this is what you want, you have to get around people that relate to you, that has the sauce that you need to get you where you need to be. It can be accountable for you. And somebody that not only that you just, all right, I pay for mentorship and when I'm done, it's over, or I pay for education and it's done, it's over, but somebody that is really going to take you in as a brother, as a sister, and become a potential business partner, a potential coaching partner, a potential event partner. Somebody that's willing to be in you, somebody that you invest in them, they invest in you for a lifetime. You need to go out there and find somebody like that. Somebody like this that's willing to put together a free informational webinar. Somebody that gets on Young and Wealthy Wednesdays every single Wednesday and giving you guys all the game that I got. And I'm still learning every single day. I'm still investing in more education so that I could pour it back into you guys for free because I know that it's going to come back to me, whether someone invests in me or not. I'm still going to win. So you guys got to really get aligned with this and understand that, if you really want to take this to another level, it's going to take money. It's going to take making investments in yourself. It's going to take all of these things to really get on that path. And once I invested in myself and continue to invest and implemented what I learned is when I got the success. And now I travel. I just came back from Atlanta 2 weekends ago, a train the trainer event. So now I'm able to get trained on how to become an instructor better. 2.5 weeks, I went to another real estate flip summit, a 3-day massive event that I learned so much on. Before that, I went to a note investing event a few months before that. I'm able to go on my Young and Wealthy tour and network and rub shoulders, with people. I met King Ramel, my brother now. I ain't even known him for a year yet. He teaching me about credit. Just helped my business get $72,000 in business funding in less than 2-3 weeks. All because I invested in mentorship. If I never invested in one-on-one coaching with Jay, I would have never really met Ramel at that level. If I didn't invest in Jay, one-on-one mentorship in 2018, $17,000. If I didn't invest in that, I wouldn't have got the game on value relationships this year, King. Network more. Stop taking the relationships for granted, And that's what I started implementing this stuff. Now on this year, we on a whole nother level, King. Let's get that $1 million. Stop wholesaling all your deals. Stop taking the easy way out. Take more risks. I'm implementing this stuff. This is from mentors. You're not going to learn this from YouTube. You'll learn some of it. You're not going to learn all this from YouTube, though, because some of this is real life, authentic shit that's aligned with you in your current day. You can't get that but with mentorship and people that believe in you and trust in you. So, guys, let's talk about the offer. So the offer, as a Jay Morrison Academy Wholesale Mastery Coach, we offer a 6-month coaching program that is really 6 months. But like I said, it's a lifetime. Once you invest in the Jay Morrison Academy, we are with you for a lifetime. There are students that are not even in the academy every single day that still, get support from us, still get support from Jay, still get love from Jay, still get phone call away from Jay, still phone call away from me, phone call away from Tosin, Brandon, Queen Ernestine, King Eugene, the whole team. Like, we are a genuine family. Like, we genuinely, once you invest in us, we investing for a lifetime because we really want to see our people win. So we got a 6-month group coaching, wholesale mastery group coaching program. We get on a weekly Zoom call every Monday night, just like we're on now, every Monday night. And we talk about motivation. We talk about mindset. We talk about, whatever I got going on in my business, whatever you guys need help with. We talk about all that stuff on an hour-long call. The great thing is that the students, you get to hearing on the students' information, their problems, how they're getting their things solved, what they're doing, what's working for them. And so you don't just get game from me. On our last call last week, one of our students gave me some game that was mad valuable. I said, why did I never think about that? But that's smart as hell what you just did. And again, it's a group coaching mastermind, You guys get provided with a wholesaling toolbox. So all the tools that you really need, from contracts to your company scorecard, how to track your RGMs on your company scorecard, repair estimator sheet, assignment contracts. You get sales, you get scripts for your speaking with motivated sellers, you get postcard templates, you get I'm trying to think what else right offhand. You get a matrix revenue generating spreadsheet, teach you how to reverse engineer all of your information, your goals, and reverse engineer all the way back to your day in and day out activities. And there's extra stuff too that comes with that. So in your first 6 months of the program, you split your first 3 deals 50-50 with us. Or another way is, like you said, it's really a lifetime. So as long as we're rocking out with you, my goal is to get you your first 3 deals done. You got access to me. I don't care if it take you a year and a half. We really locked in on 6 months legally. I mean, not legally, but as per the program. But for me as a millennial hope dealer, once you invest in me, you're in for life. I still rock out with all of our students. I still got students that done 4 or 5 deals already this year. That's out of the program. That still got my number and call me and might got a quick question, and I may shoot them a text or comment on their Instagram. I see you winning, King. Keep on going. I'm rooting for you. So you got me as a mentor, accountability coach for life once you invest in me. So I think really, like, as long as you rock with me and you believe in us and you go hard, we split your first 3 deals. I think that's fair. Because honestly, guys, it took me 6 months to get my first deal. Some people may take longer. Some people may get 3 deals in 6 months. But from an average standpoint, it's tough to get, 3 deals in 6 months. And I think after 3 deals, it's safe for you to go out there and be independent and go out here and chase deals consistently on your own. So it's a $3,500 course. If you're interested in it, you can go to www.jmorrisonacademy.com/wholesale, or you can call into our office between business hours of 9 to 5, 9 to 4. 1844 join JMA. You can ask one of our WEAs, give me more information on the Wholesale Mastery program. Again, if you got me on Instagram, most of you guys found me on this webinar through Instagram. You can go to IKE_YMC and check the link in my bio to get right on that website, guys. So that's it right there. That's the game right there, guys. I just gave you guys all that game. I'm gonna see if we got any questions. Did anybody on Instagram have any questions? Okay. All right, cool, guys. So I'm going to open up the floor real quick for a few minutes. If anybody got any questions that they may want to ask, if you got any, just any chime in, like, just let me know. If that was I know on YouTube, let me check out YouTube over there. If anybody got, any, I take all motivation. If you guys want to tell me, good job, bad job, or anything you want to touch on, we can speak about that too.
Someone's like, so pay a fee for the program and split deals?
Yes. So your first 3 deals, because what it is you're paying for the information, your information you're being provided. But then again, you're going through your day in and day out activities, having access to us. So yes, absolutely. All right, let's see. All right. YouTube, NYC in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Saw you on YouTube through Jay. Yes, sir. So excited for this. Yes, Queen. Guys, tell me how y'all like it. If y'all enjoyed it, if y'all got any questions, shoot us some questions. Somebody said, I have really high credit, but really low income. Honestly, I think it would be better if I had bad credit, but a high income, because the bank told me a maximum mortgage of 10K with 7K closing costs. I mean, that's just one strategy. There's so many other ways that you can get access to money, private partnerships. Again, like you said, just focus on wholesaling, getting your income up is a great way to help you get that income up to buy a property. Now, if you go buy a 4-family, you can leverage and utilize the 3 other rents as potential income for you too, 10 cents in the dream, so that you can leverage that to be able to provide more income on your paperwork. I really want to buy some buy and hold at multiplexes. How do you find business partners? Okay, ignore the question. Understand this is what you need to learn information. Buy your course. Bullshit. Oh yeah, they sound real salty. Again, from the beginning of the webinar, I set out how can I answer any of your questions if I'm doing an 1.5-hour webinar, but I'm just going to go past them now for that. Cash buyers, real estate agents, sellers, contracts. Yes, Devin, still going strong. Yep, you already know. I loved you since I've been following you, but now I understand you so much more. Glad I didn't miss this video. You speaking about your background and all the obstacles you went through. Much respect. Yes, definitely. I appreciate that. I love the game you're giving. Yep. Can the payment be broken down into 2 payments? King, just reach out, direct message me, or just call into 1844 join JMA. I'm sure we could work something out with you. Again, we're here. We want to see you guys win. So I think we could definitely work something out with you. So call in, just say, hey, I was on, Isaac's webinar. I want to speak. Ask for King Eric or Queen SJ. Speak with them and see if they could work something out with you to get that rocking and rolling. Let's see if we got anything back over here on our webinar. Okay.
Good job, my boy. I took a class with Dr. Roberta. You touched on a lot in a short time.
Right.
I enjoyed this so much, and I wish every young man could see you tell your story and about your children.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're most definitely motivation. Keep going, King.
Yes, sir.
Great info, man. You have to split deals like Jay said. Why would you value free game?
Right. Some people don't understand that. Let me get into that real quick, because again, King or whoever that was, I didn't mind answering your question. I didn't even know nobody was commenting on YouTube because I'm locked in handling my business. I'm going to tell you a quick story about this deal that I'm telling you guys about with this wholesaling opportunity. When I'm the 2-family house that I'm wholesaling, I'm making $23,000, but I'm leveraging a partner in on a deal where I'm willing to split a fee. Most greedy people, most selfish people, what we're naturally accustomed to, will say, well, why would I use him and give up 50% of my deal when I could do it myself, or at least try to do it myself? So I seen the value in what he brought to the table, the expertise, access to getting the money, the know-how. Most importantly, the expertise was enough for me to leverage him in this deal, because not only will I get doing a partnership, I'm going to learn so much more from this guy, 43 years old. Look, you know, we look up to each other. He looks up to me. I look up to him. He's a big brother of mine. Could be my father, honestly, but I'm going to get so much more gain than just this small stuff. So if you think small-minded, that's what's going to happen to you. You're worried about, okay, you paid for $3,500 in education. Why do I need to split my deals? But at the same time, you're not seeing a bigger picture in, you know, you being able to complete 3 deals, break bread with the family, with the team, and you may come up an opportunity to become a coach with the Jay Morrison Academy or be a business partner with me because you was 100 and you wasn't like the average person. So again, you know, to each his own. So, you know, that's just, you know, how some people mindsets are. But let me answer a couple questions. So I know Jason Boyd said, can you talk more about development deals? Nah, King, I'm not really talking about development deals. That's not what this is about. But King Jay did a live webinar on how to be the perfect real estate developer. Follow Mr. Jay Morrison on Instagram and holla at him or call in 1-844-JOIN-JMA and see if you can get the replay of that. We just did that and I was out there watching it, and that's how you can get into that. Can you jump into fix and flips without wholesaling? King, that's not really what this webinar was about tonight, but to make it a little quick for you guys, because we got like 12 minutes left, it's still the same game. You like, because as a wholesaler, you got to understand what a fix and you got to put the play together. So you got to be able to understand what it can sell for, how much work it's going to need, build in your profit, and make a reasonable, logical offer, and that you win in your buy. From there, you got to have the contracting team together. Either you're going to hire a reputable GC that handles everything, or you're going to sub out all the work yourself. So you got to understand contracts with contractors. You got to understand that relationship. You got to understand how to manage them. All that stuff there. You got to have, you got to, work with surveyors, tank sweep guys. You got to work with appraisers, architects. There's a couple more people that's going to be in your business. But sometimes as a wholesaler, you're going to need them same people as well. So, that's like a little quick brief rundown on it, King Boyd. I appreciate the questions, though. For the team building, are the members going to be employees or are they cooperating with us in our business? So that's a really, really good question. So it's going to go two ways. I didn't really talk about actual like team member building on this, which I should have, and I'll probably do another video on that in the future. But I talked about team building for your wholesale business, but so they're technically not on your company. They're just team members. So like your agent, your contract, they're not going to be on your team. They're just going to be network affiliates for you. So, that was a really good question. So let me go back over here to YouTube. Actually, somebody said, I think her name's Amira. Should I try to utilize easy funding to get business funding to get into marketing for my wholesale business? I'm willing to invest the $3,500 into you, but I'm looking for the big paper and willing to take the risk. Absolutely. Listen, I just got access to $72,000 in business funding. I just spent $22,000 of that business funding to go out and go to a bigger mastermind for this year. So what will Ike do? All right, back over here to YouTube. Mayport, Florida in the house. What up, Florida? What up? What up? Does the buyer see both contracts, the original and assignment contract? And does the buyer understand why we're asking such and such amount for our wholesale fee? Yes, he will see both sides of it. And again, he will see it because as long as you got a good deal. Now, listen, you can't ask for a $25,000 fee if the deal sucks. Now, if I'm asking for $25,000, but I put you in position to make $65,000 after all fees and commissions, and I can prove that, and I got the stats and the comps and the know-how how to break that down, then that's how you could say, come on, man, like, cut the crap. It's a good deal. So, do you invest in Maryland? I don't even know where Maryland is. So, pardon me. Do you invest in Maryland? Nah, actually, you know what? It's not a D at the end of it. So I was really supposed to say Maryland. I still say Maryland. All right, whatever. Nah, I don't invest in Maryland, King. But if you got some deals, if you could show me, we build a relationship and maybe in the future, I'll be open to it. They have homes for less than $5,000. Yeah, so go get them, King. If someone has a mortgage on a property that they want to wholesale, how do you make that attractive to a buyer? It just all depends. It needs equity in it. So let's just say if the house is worth $150,000, but they got a mortgage on it for $20,000, you're able to give let's just say you give the seller $20,000. So technically 40. So you pay off the mortgage, put 20 in their pockets, and then you're able to sell it to the investor for 60,000. They can go ahead and put 10, 12,000 into it and sell it and make the big flip on it. So it's all about it having equity and position it so that there's money in it to be an attractive deal. All right, let's hop. Instagram, got any questions?
Yeah, do you have any advice on market research?
All right, that's a really good question. So yes, as far as market research from a wholesaling standpoint, the most valuable market research I would say is from the cash buyer standpoint. And that is really going out here and dictating how many cash transactions are happening in your county and then breaking that down to a zip code standpoint. Because from the wholesale standpoint, you want to go to where all the cash deals are happening. So if you got a county of 15 counties and you can take the top 4 to 5 counties that have the most cash transactions and focus your marketing, then you're putting yourself in position to get a lot of wins.
What do you think about Flip to Freedom wholesaling program? I paid the $500 for it. Seen you take a picture with him on IG.
That's my man, Sean Terry. That's a mentor. Honestly, guys, a lot of things that I teach, I learned from Sean Terry. Many other mentors is definitely something I would recommend to go after. If you're serious about it, you know, if he's relatable to you, if he's somebody that you could build a long-lasting relationship with, go after it by any means.
It's more of a comment, and I invite my contractors over for holidays. As long as the ROI is good, do it all day, Tuesday on Sunday.
Absolutely. Whoever said that, they on to it. They understand the business. I got one. What if you have a motivated seller who is underwater on a property? Do you leave it alone? Well, no, I wouldn't leave it alone. I would set it up for a short sale. That's why it comes down with working, you know, with agents and having them on your team, because what you can do is you can have your agent work with them and get it short sold, and you'll be able to even wholesale it if the short sale is approved. Or if that doesn't happen, you can get a percentage of your partnership agent's commission on the deal. See if we got anything else before we back out. All right, guys. So we're going to wrap up. I want to thank all of you guys for being on tonight's webinar. This is my first official live webinar, and you guys are here with me making history. It's Friday night. Y'all could be out prepping to go out tonight, even though I'm about to go out in a few. But y'all could be doing whatever y'all want to do. But y'all here being smart, being focused on your future, you know, supporting one of your kings, the millennial hope dealer. I really hope that game that I gave you guys was appreciated and valuable. If you could just respond back with a thumbs up, you know, if you guys could shout me out on Instagram, take a screenshot of this and just say, yo, King Isaac had the best webinar, the worst webinar, whatever it is, you know, just keep it, you know, authentic and be able to just put that love out there. You know, I give you guys free game, and in return, I just ask you guys just to big me up, you know, but be truthful, you know, the more truthful you guys are, the better I can get at what I'm doing, how I can tighten up my game and get better. So I just want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. As the millennial hope dealer, I'm going to continue to provide and continue to give that hope to all of us, from YouTube to Zoom to Instagram. I want to keep on giving until I can't give no more. Again, all the support is greatly appreciated, and I am going to see you guys soon. So again, you guys got the opportunity. Call in 1-844, join JMA, direct message me if you got more questions. The offer is on the table. The future is yours, but the time is now. So I want to thank you guys, and everybody have a great night.